Welcome back to Dreamcatcher. Today, we are going to discuss chapter number 4, that is motion in a plane. In this in this audio, you're going to hear 4.2, that is scalar, and vector 4.10, that is projectile motion. So, 4.2, in physics, we can classify quantities as scalars and vectors. Basically, the difference is that the direction is associated with a vector but not with a scalar. A scalar quantity is a quantity with magnitude only. It is specified by a single number along with a proper unit. Examples are the distance between the 2 points, the mass of an object, the temperature of a body, and the time at which the certain event happened. The rules for combining scalars are the rules of ordinary algebra. Scalars can be added, subtracted, multiplied, and also divided just as the ordinary numbers. Okay. Then a vector quantity is a quantity which has both magnitude and direction, which also obey the triangular law of addition or the triangular law or the parallelogram law of addition. The representation. To represent a vector, we use a bold-face type in this book. Thus, a velocity vector can be represented as a simple V. Since bold-face is difficult to produce when written by hand, a vector is often represented by an arrow placed over the letter. Thus, both V and V vector represented as the velocity vector. The magnitude of a vector is often called the absolute value, indicated as modulus V is equal to V. Thus, a vector is represented by a bold face capital A, capital means small a, p, q, r. Okay. Then the position and displacement vector. Here, there is a figure in 4.1 that is denoting the position and the displacement vector. B, that is a displacement vector PQ and different causes of motion. Okay, if an object moves from P to P0, the vector P1 P1 is called the displacement vector. Okay, just casual things. The magnitude of the displacement is either less than or equal to the path length of an object between 2 points. Okay, the equality of vectors. In equality of vectors, it says that it have same magnitude and same direction. Same magnitude and same direction. Okay, and then addition, last 2 points. The addition and subtraction of scalars make sense only for quantities with same unit. However, you can multiply and divide scalars of different unit. In our study, vectors do not have fixed location. So, displacing a vector parallel to itself leaves the vector unchanged. Such vectors are called free vectors. So, vectors do not have a fixed location. So, displacing a vector parallel to itself does not change the vector. So, it is called free vector. So, however, in some physical application, location or line application of a vector is important. Such vector is called localized vector. So, 4.2, the projectile motion. An object that is in flight after being thrown or projected is called projectile. Such a projectile might be a football, a cricket ball, a baseball, or any other object. Okay. The motion of the projectile may be thought of as the result of two separate or simultaneously occurring components of motion. One component is along horizontal direction without any acceleration and the other along the vertical direction with a constant acceleration due to the force of gravity. It was Galileo who first stated that independency of the horizontal and the vertical component of projectile motion in his dialogue on the Great World System. Okay, so After the object has been projected, the acceleration acting on it, that due to gravity which is directed vertically upwards, v is equal to u cos theta and u sin theta. In the x-axis it is u cos theta, in the y-axis it is y sin theta. Okay, the x and y coordinates of the position of projectile at times in terms of two parameter, initial speed u and the projected angle theta. One of the component of velocity, that is x component, remain constant throughout the motion and only the y component changes. The x component remain constant throughout the motion. The x component remain constant throughout the motion and only the y component changes like an object in free fall in vertical direction. Okay. Then the equation of path of a projectile. Y is equal to tan theta into x minus g by 2 v naught cos theta the whole square into x square. The time of height, maximum height. Time of flight. Okay, time is equal to t is equal to 2 u sin theta by g. Maximum height of a projectile is u square sin square theta divided by 2g, or simply u sin theta the whole square by 2g. The maximum range can be calculated as r is equal to u square sin 2 theta divided by g, or then r is maximum when sin 2 theta is maximum, that is when theta is equal to 45, the maximum horizontal range is equal to u square by g. Okay. Then neglecting air resistance, what does the assumption really means? The projectile that travels a parabolic path would certainly show deviation from the idealized trajectory in the presence of air resistance. In the presence of air resistance, this would really change. It will not hit the ground with the same speed with which it was projected from it. The absence of air resistance, the x component of the velocity remain constant, and it is only the y component that undergo the continuous change. However, in the presence of air resistance, both these would get affected. That would mean that the range would be less than that of the given, that is r is equal to u square by 2g. Okay, in order to avoid air resistance, we will have to perform the experiment in vacuum or under low pressure, which is not so easy. Okay, so we have discussed scalars and vectors and also the projectile motion. So thank you. So have a nice day and subscribe to our channel. Okay.